answer is on the website of the portal of the House.
Speaker sir, o prashna maga dista ke motto important asa. This relates to the damage to environment and forest and wildlife in regards to the double tracking project. And I will be very specific because Speaker sir, I will not take much time. I'll be very specific because there are several other of my colleagues also who would want to speak on the same. So Speaker sir, my first question, what I had asked the Honorable Environment Minister was whether the government is aware that the Honorable Supreme Court has passed an order in agreement with the CEC that the requirement of the coal can be met by utilizing the Krishnapatnam port. Sub-question B was whether the government is aware that the Honorable Supreme Court in its order has revoked wildlife permissions for double tracking of Vasco Hospital railway line, concluding under para 22 that there is no credible supporting date for the projections that are given by RVNL relating to railway traffic between Karnataka and Goa. Sub-question C, whether the government is aware that the railways clearly pleaded before the Honorable Supreme Court that the double tracking is for transportation of coal and did not give any other justification in support of the double tracking. Sub-question E, whether the government has done any study to prove that the massive tunneling, digging, hill cutting for the double tracking project will have no impact on the Dudhsagar waterfalls, no damage on the biodiversity of Western Ghats. The answers, because sir, for all these four sub-questions, eko answer dila. The subject matter falls under the purview of the central government. Now my first pointed supplementary to the Honorable Minister is, I have a reply to another unstarred question number 163, wherein I have asked whether the government is aware that the Honorable Supreme Court has passed an order upholding the findings of the CEC pertaining to 3 linear projects. The reply is yes, sir. Now the question is the government trying to hide facts selectively? Why are you all playing two strokes for two folks? Is the duty of the government only to give permissions and not to take cognizance of various reports, courts, orders in view of protecting the environment?
Speaker sir, honorable colleague, what he has asked two separate questions. The question now is 2B, and what he is quoting is of an unstarred question which has not come here, Speaker sir.
Speaker sir.
Speaker sir, let me finish. I'm on my feet. I did not disturb you. You please sit. Speaker sir, I'm very clear when you're asking a starred LEQ which is there on the table of the House, I have to reply to the star LEQ. He is saying unstarred. The unstarred answer is also given to him because the state government was part of that petition. So that is why the answer is given to him on that particular question, Speaker sir. The question today, Speaker sir, your rules of the business, Speaker sir, I did not finish, Speaker sir. Speaker sir, the rules of the business which you are saying, the question what is whether the government is aware that the Honorable Supreme Court has passed an order in agreement with the Central Empowered Committee that the requirement of the coal can be met with the utilizing the Krishnapatnam port, which is viable for transportation of coal, and the said arrangement will also be prevent the degradation of the Western Ghats, and if so, furnish details of steps taken by the government on the railway doubling track. See, sir, that question is whether the Supreme Court, whether the government is aware of the Supreme Court order. We are aware, and that is the answer given to him. Here, the question is whether it is aware and whether what steps we are going to take on the double tracking, Speaker sir. That is why the answer is the subject matter falls under purview of the central government.
Speaker
this
sir,
is a very clear answer given, my honorable.
Speaker sir, both the questions have mention of the Supreme Court order. So, Speaker sir, why do you have different answers? Ek answer to sangta ki te baba comes under the purview of the central government. Second answer, you are saying that you are aware of it. Anyways, because I'll ask my
let me answer to that again, Speaker sir. You have asked the question, let me answer. Yeah. You ask us a second supplementary afterwards. I have clearly specified why the answer is like that, Speaker sir. I am repeating again, Speaker sir. The answer sought in question number 2B table at A has got two parts of it. One is, will also prevent the degradation of the Western Ghats. If so, furnish details of the steps taken by the government. This is the answer. This is the question. So I don't know the answer, Speaker Sir. I have said it is a central subject. And what question he has answered in the unstarred question is very simple, Speaker Sir. Is whether you are aware. I am aware of that the Supreme Court. So please don't.
Speaker Sir, see,
don't beat around the bush, Speaker Sir.
Speaker Sir, see, I am not beating around the bush. I am very specific. See, both the answers have the Supreme Court judgment. You have given the answer at the start that it comes under the central government purview. And now, on the other one, you say that you are not aware. Anyways, Speaker
Sir, no, again he is repeating. Speaker Sir, he asked a question, I am replying again, Speaker Sir. Speaker Sir, I am replying again to his question, Speaker Sir. If he does not understand, I am reading the part A of the question. Whether the government is aware that the Honorable Supreme Court has passed an interim order in agreement with the Central Empowered Committee that the requirement of the coal can be met by utilizing the Krishnapatnam port, which is viable for transportation of coal, and the said arrangement will also prevent the degradation of the Western Ghats. If so, that is if so to this question, furnish details of the steps taken by the government on the railway line. How can I furnish? That is my answer. It is a central. What he has asked in the other question is very specific. Whether we are aware of the Supreme Court decision, which I have answered. So please tell him not to put a beat around the bush, Speaker Sir.
Speaker Sir, I am not, see, okay, I will ask you my second supplementary. Now, Speaker Sir, the other day the Honorable Chief Minister was on record speaking about the Sagarmala project. This also has a link to the coal transportation. Now, my second supplementary is whether the government is aware of the projections shown in the Sagarmala project report of coal transportation. The other day, the Honorable Chief Minister, who is not there, he was on record saying that this project is for tourism. And passenger alago. The report, I'll give you another unstarred LAQ number 25 that you have replied. It pertains to the same issue, which is clubbed by my question. It was raised by my honorable colleague Kalus. The report, the answer that you've given is that the report is prepared by the Government of India, Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. With the answer again, it is very clear that the intentions of the government is to destroy the environment and the identity of Goa. Will you admit that?
Yes, Speaker Sir. He has jumped to another question now. I don't know how to answer. Speaker Sir, I am on my feet. I did not disturb him. Speaker Sir. Speaker Sir, I am on my feet. I did not disturb him. He has to listen to the answer what I am giving him. If he does not have the facility of this, he should not interrupt me, Speaker Sir. I am answering to what he has asked. Speaker Sir, the question today on the table of the House is to be answered. He is referring to an unstarred question where I have replied, which I am aware, which was placed by Honorable MLA Kalus. Speaker Sir, this particular question which is to be has got no relation what is that, but however, there is a calling attention. I don't want to waste the time of the House. The calling attention is also there today. Private members' resolution is also tabled by him on the same issue, Speaker Sir, which is there at...
I have not tabled a private member resolution on this.
Vijay Sardesai. Sorry, Vijay Sardesai.
I have not.
Vijay Sardesai. I am correcting myself. It is placed by Vijay Sardesai.
Yes.
So the same thing will be answered. Again, the same thing is going to answer, Speaker Sir. So I will answer because it is not related to 2B. If it is related to 2B, I would have answered him now, Speaker Sir.
Yes, okay. Yes.
Speaker Sir.
एक मिनट मेरी बात बस
एक मिनट पता नहीं. See, Speaker Sir, I have just directly said, this is directly showing I have the Sagarmala project with me. It shows that the intent of the government is to transport 137 million tons. That is the projection. Honorable Chief Minister was, Poichi Disa, he was on record that this particular project is for passenger and transport. Ata, Speaker Sir, if you look, or I will place this report on the table of the House. Je Sagarmala project on page 292. I quote kotta hu, Speaker Sir. Jenna Sarkaracho Jenna ek ye ha ki baba ye coal enamo. Itlo coal enamo 15 million ton handle gotamo. Teja mais te handle konemo. Zalyar Speaker Sir ye page chair on page 292, which relates basically to I'll just give it to you. Plants in Belgaum, Bellary, Bijapur, Solapur, Gulbarga and Raichur. They have plans of 20,330 tons, Speaker Sir, of megawatts हे power generation. दुसरें जालें स्पीकर सर तेंगेलो आनी एक हे आहा की they want to put a steel plant which is 72.5 million tons. हे projection Sagarmala daha. What I want to clear, Speaker, Tedus Sagarmala project he was mentioned here, which also pertains to this coal project. He got passenger on HR time. My direct contention, I would request the Honorable Environment Minister, is he aware of this project, that there is a projection of 137 million tons of coal tabled in this project?
Yes.
Speaker, sir, I am again repeating myself. He only has said, Speaker, sir, that in an unstarred question, I have given a reply to what question he has posed. I am not saying that I have not answered his question, but that question is not relevant to today's question, Speaker, sir. I will explain the stand what in his question of 2B, which is not pointing out, Speaker, sir. In part D, what is the stand of the government on coal transportation through Goa by private companies for their profits? What is the benefit the state of Goa will get from transportation of coal from Vasco da Gama to other states, and what? I have answered, Speaker, sir, that does not want to exceed the quantities presently permitted. It's very clear, Speaker, sir. Where's the question of answering him when it is not there, Speaker, sir?
Yes, okay.
What projection somebody is giving, Speaker, sir? Well, let me finish. I have not interrupted you. I am not going to answer questions of somebody else's projections. There are so many people who speak of different projections, Speaker, sir. Speaker, sir. There are so many people who give different projections. I don't want to go on those projections. It is whether these governments, Speaker, sir, let me finish, you can ask. Let me finish, you can ask, Speaker, sir. Speaker, sir, he is talking about some projections of a report tabled by somebody of a Sagarmala report of the central government. I am very clear, Speaker, sir. Speaker, sir, I'm on my feet, I'm answering. Speaker, sir, I'm answering, Speaker, sir. I'm on my feet, I'm answering, Speaker, sir. Speaker, sir, I'm answering, I'm on my feet. I have not finished answering, Speaker, sir. Speaker, sir, I'm answering my question put by honorable members. I am answering my question, Speaker, sir.
दिगंबर कामत
ना स्पीकर साहेब मुझे कंप्लीट ना दोनों झाले
सब क्वेश्चन झाले
ना दोनों झाले नो
बस अभी
सर माय एक मिनिट
दिगंबर कामत
सर स्पीकर सर माय थर्ड सप्लीमेंटरी
विजय सर जेन्ना यस सिट डाउन बसून घ्या
सर
तुम्ही जाऊन
स्पीकर सर
हांव काबार करता स्पीकर थर्ड इन
ना झालो
ना स्पीकर सर झालं ना दोनों इन झाले
तीन क्वेश्चन
दोनों इन झाले स्पीकर सर
चार
लास्ट स्पीकर सर यू हॅव
म्हजो एक सादो प्रश्न सादो म्हळ्यार कितें हें व्हडलें प्रोजेक्शना हांव सांगना हांव इतलें म्हणटा की फाल्यां हे रेल्वे ट्रॅक जेन्ना जातलो ताजेर जर एक एक्सिडेंट जालो नाजाल्यार लँडस्लायड जाली हिल कटिंगा खातीर नाजाल्यार लोकांची हेल्थ एफेक्ट जावपाक लागली कोल्ड ट्रान्सपोर्टेशना खातीर जाल्यार मंत्री आमकां उत्तर कितें दितलो वो सेंट्रल गव्हर्मेंट प्रोजेक्ट आपल्याक खबर ना म्हणून अशें सांगूंक जाता आमच्यान डज सेंट्रल गव्हर्मेंट ओन गोवा स्पीकर सर एक मिनिट
Point of order, Speaker, sir. Point of order. I am not replying to you. My question is point of order, Speaker, sir. What question is saying, Speaker, sir? He should relate to the question what he is asking. He said about land, nothing about a landslide mentioned here, Speaker, sir.
I'm on my feet.
Speaker, sir, there is nothing mentioned about landslide here.
स्पीकर सर
अरे when I am on my feet, how you can talk?
संकल्प बसून घे तुझे टर्न येता तू स्कूल येतलो
स्पीकर सर
बसून घे
डिस्टर्ब करू नका काबराल
गिरी बाब तुझे चार क्वेश्चन सब क्वेश्चन झाले
चार झाले स्पीकर सर तिसरे इंचादा
विजय सर डिसाइड
स्पीकर सर हांवें हो ताका प्रश्न विचारलो की इम्प्लिकेशन्स जी ताजे क्वेश्चनाची आहा आर दीस पळय मदीं उलोवं नाका काबराल स्पीकर सर देर इज इम्प्लिकेशन्स ऑन पीपल्स हेल्थ on landslides means degradation of the environment or फाल्यां accident on the railway track हें हांव एक सपोजड एक हायपोथेटिकल सिच्युएशन सांगता हें जर जालें आनी गव्हर्मेंट जर आमकां उत्तर दिवपाक लागलो तो सेंट्रल गव्हर्मेंट प्रोजेक्ट आमकां खबर ना जाल्यार आमी खंय पुर्तुगेज डिक्टेटरशिपाच्या अंडर आहा काय एक डेमोक्रेटीक रिपब्लिकान आहा एक फेडरल स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द कंट्री इज वॉट दॅट सेंट्रल गव्हर्मेंट एंड स्टेट गव्हर्मेंट आर टू इंजिन्स युअर्स इज अ डबल इंजिन सरकार आतां सकल्ले इंजिनान सांगूंक जाय वयल्या इंजिनाक की बाबा हांगा लोकांचें ओपोजिशन आहा कोर्टांनी हें दखल घेतल्या तुमी ना तो सेंट्रल गव्हर्मेंट प्रोजेक्ट हें कितें स्पीकर सर आमी खंयच्या जगान जगतात आणि खंयच्या जमान्यान जगतात.
प्रश्न विचारला.
स्पीकर सर एक मिनिट उलोव नाका. आय एम ऑन माय फीट. You were giving him the same talks. Now I am giving you the
Sir,
talks.
point of order.
Speaker sir.
Cross the talk करू नका म्हणून सांग. तुमका आन्सर करू नये.
ते बरे आहे. मास्तरगिरी आमकां नाका.
तुझा डायरेक्ट प्रश्न विचार.
स्पीकर सर म्हजो प्रश्न असो आहा की दर फाल्यां ह्या प्रोजेक्टा खातीर डबल ट्रॅकिंगा खातीर एनवायरमेंटल डिग्रेडेशन जालें ओ जें कितें लोकांची हेल्थ एफेक्ट जावपाक लागली, कोळशान चड लोक मेल्या कोविडान पयलीं ते सगळ्यांक खबर आहा. हें जर जालें
तुझा स्पेस
कोण रिस्पॉन्सिबल
हे सगळं सांगचे पेक्षा तू पहिले स्पेसिफिक
प्रश्न कोण रिस्पॉन्सिबल? सेंट्रल गव्हर्नमेंट. हें उत्तर काय म्हणटा हांव?
Speaker sir,
जो प्रश्न त्याने विचारला हे हितून पण हांव आन्सर करता. स्पीकर सर
उलयता रे.
स्पीकर सर हे डी पार्टान जेन्ना हांवें क्लियर मेन्शन केला that the government has already taken a stand that not to exceed the quantities presently permitted. Where the question, Speaker sir? What is the question? Was he asking, Speaker sir?
Landslide.
Speaker sir, I'm on my feet. Speaker sir, I'm on my feet. I have not finished answering. I am not finished answering, Speaker sir. Speaker sir, I am very clearly said. Now he is asking about landslide. Speaker sir, landslide is part of formation, whether it is on railway line, whether it is on the roads, whether it is some houses. Government takes action, Speaker sir, and we have been taking action. You are aware, few days back there were landslides because of the continuous rains. We have gone ahead and taken action how to take care of it. Now we are also planning in New Wadi, there is a big landslide which is going to happen. Some of the roads also where the cutting was done by PWD, there also landslides are happening, and we are already executing nailing work of it. So whatever precautions are required as and when, the government is responsible, and we'll take actions of whatever is required. How we can make hypothetical statements in the floor of the house, whether this will happen, if that will happen. Speaker sir, I'm on my feet. I'm on my feet. Speaker sir, I'm on my feet. Speaker sir, I'm on my feet. Answering the question. He has to have the patience to listen, Speaker sir. Speaker sir, I'm on my feet answering. If you don't have the patience, that is not my problem. I have patience to answer. Speaker sir, he himself has said, hypothetically, if something happens. I am also saying, hypothetically, if something is going to happen, I am not God, Speaker sir. He may be God. That's what he said. Speaker sir, he made the statement. He has made the statement. I am not making the statement. Speaker sir, he said hypothetically. I am repeating.
बसून घ्या. एक वेंजीबाब बसून घ्या. अरे सभागृह युरी बाप बसून घ्या. युरी बाप अरे बसून घ्या. अरे बसून घ्या. अरे युरी बाप बसून घ्या. अरे बसून घ्या. सभागृहाच्या येस तुमकां आयकून घेवपा नासा हांव तिसरे प्रश्न कॉल करतलो. आयकून घेवपा नासा जर जायत हांव तिसरे प्रश्न कॉल करतलो. बसून घे. अरे सभागृहाची शिस्त सांबाळून घेयात. प्रश्न जर एक आन्सर जर दिले जायत न्ही तूं मध्येच कित्याक उठता? परत उठता कित्याक तुम्ही? सगळें उठता मरे तुम्ही. अरे प्रत्येकाक तुमकां उलोवपाची संद दिता. प्रत्येकाची
उबो रावन सांगता तुका हांव बशिल्लो आहा म्हणून.
अरे बसाक म्हणजे बसून घेयात आनी मागीर आन्सर दियात तुमचे. मंत्री.
स्पीकर सर, हांवें ऑलरेडी आन्सर केला आनी म्हाका दिसता आनी ताका क्लॅरिफिकेशन आज परतून आमचे ऑनरेबल कलिग्जांनी श्री एल्टन डिकोस्टा आणि श्री विजय सरदेसायान परतून तोच प्रश्न घातला स्पीकर सर एज प्रायव्हेट मेंबर्स बिल आणि तेजेर स्पीकर डिस्कशन जातलेंच. आज क्वेश्चन आवर कित्याक ते वाडटा ताका कितले जाय ते विचारू स्पीकर सर. हांव सगळीं उतरां दिवपाक रेडी आसा स्पीकर सर. आमी कांयच हांगा लिपोवपाचें कांयच ना स्पीकर सर. वी हॅव अ ओपन हाऊस. वी विल डिस्कस स्पीकर सर. जे एलिगेशनां करता गव्हर्मेंटाचेर ती एलिगेशन करीत रावतले. हायपोथेटिकल एलिगेशन हांव आय कॅनॉट आन्सर स्पीकर सर.
श्री दिगंबर कामत.
ह्या क्वेश्चनाक डी भितर मिनिस्टरान एक रिप्लाय दिला की डज नॉट वॉन्ट टू एक्सीड द क्वांटिटीज प्रेझेंटली परमिटेड बाय गोवा स्टेट पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड. आनी क्वांटिटी एक्सीड करपाचो ना असो तुजो स्पेसिफीक आन्सर आसा. आतां प्रश्न उपस्थित जाता तुमकां जर एक्सीड करपाची ना, क्वॉन्टिटी एक्सीड करपाची ना, जाल्यार डबल ट्रॅकिंगाची बी गरज कित्याक आसा हो एक प्रश्न येता. आनी म्हजें म्हणणें कितें आसा की सेंट्रल एम्पावर्ड कमिटी जेन्ना गोंयांत आयिल्ली तांणी ते सगळ्यांनी तांणी सायट इन्स्पेक्शन्स केल्ले. सायट इन्स्पेक्शन्स करून ते सगळे रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्सांक बी मेळिल्ले आनी तांणी एक रिपोर्ट दिल्लो आसा. आतां स्टेट गव्हर्मेंट प्रत्येक बाबतींत सब्जेक्ट मॅटर फॉल्स अंडर द परव्यू ऑफ द सेंट्रल गव्हर्मेंट अशें म्हणपाक शकना, कारण अल्टिमेटली स्टेट गव्हर्मेंटाची रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आपल्या नागरिकाची जबाबदारी घेवपाची, आपल्या राज्याचें हें सांबाळपाची जबाबदारी स्टेट गव्हर्मेंटाची. सो सेंट्रल एम्पावर्ड कमिटीन जो कितें रिपोर्ट दिला तो रिपोर्ट तुमकांय दिला आसतलो, कॉपी तुमकां येयली आसतलो. हॅज गव्हर्मेंट स्टडीड दॅट रिपोर्ट अँड सीन what could be harmful to the state and what can be properly done? हे तरी तुम्ही स्टडी केल्या? Because Central Empowered Committee is appointed by the Supreme Court. They are considered as what today they are considered as the very reasonable committee which gives reports in not only in Goa, for all over the country. So have you gone through that report and have you seen that report, how it will damage the state or how you can take steps to save the state? हे तुम्ही पळयलां काय म्हणटा?
Because first of all, with due apologies to my senior colleague, हांवें हे रूल बूक करूं ना. हांवें हे असेंब्लीचे पयलींचे गव्हर्मेंट जे आशिल्ले तेजेच गव्हर्मेंट आशिल्ले स्पीकर सर. इट इज व्हेरी क्लियरली वॉट एवर इज आन्सर्ड इज बेस्ड ऑन दोज memorandums which have been removed, where if there is a central subject which is there, we cannot answer. That is one thing which I have answered. But secondly, what is asked is, Speaker sir, whether the Supreme Court decision we have studied. Speaker sir, we have studied the Supreme Court decision, and the Supreme Court decision specifically states, the CEC's report specifically states on 3 projects of linear projects, which are, number 1, double tracking on the Western Ghats, Speaker sir. Second, about the Tamnar line, Speaker sir, which is in the Western Ghats, Speaker sir. And third is about the road which is in the Western Ghats, Speaker sir. And in these 3 projects, Speaker sir, it is very clearly said by the CEC, they have permitted the road to happen, Speaker sir, by the CEC report, which Supreme Court has allowed. The second is the Tamnar land they have made, Speaker sir, is bifurcated. They have said, first remove both the 220 line and the 110 line, which is coming presently on the Western Ghat. Make a line which is there from TV to bring it to that particular point of Dharbandara. Dismantle those lines after that, because the power will be available in South Goa, and then commence again the work of the Tamna line. This is the second part of it. The third part of it, Speaker sir, is a particular thing in the double tracking part of the Western Ghats, where they have said to scrap it, and railways has been told to do a study again and come back again. So the question of me permitting anything or doing anything does not come into question, Speaker sir. I am not above the Supreme Court's order, Speaker sir. Neither this government intends to go above the Supreme Court order. It is a very clear statement I am making on the floor of the House, Speaker sir.